Beginning. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna go through my record collection again. I believe this is part 19. I believe that's how far we're into it. But anyway, so gonna go through this again. So I already did this one today, but we're gonna go through it again. And this one is Emergency and I by the Dismember Midpoint. Wait, hold on. 1 second. Forgot to put it in a little bag. Comes with. My bad. I didn't even see that in the video, but okay. But anyways, there we go. Now this is Emergency and I by the Dismember Plan, and they're an indie rock group from Washington D.C. But they also kind of incorporate like some math rock, post-hardcore core, and even some electronic elements along with it. And they're one of my favorite indie rock groups. They're probably my second favorite indie rock group after Modest Mouse. It sounds pretty fun too. It's kind of more of a, well, it's interesting because there's a lot of lyrics about breakup, but the album still has a really fun, kind of dancey sound at times, which is usually wouldn't work, but it does work on this. But yeah, this is a classic in the indie rock genre in my eyes. And next one, this is the Texas Jerusalem Crossroads by Live to Experience, and they're from Texas, and believe it or not, they're actually a Christian rock group. And now I don't really listen to a lot of Christian rock, and telling you that, you're looking at the cover looks awful. I gotta admit, this is a really stupid looking cover, but this is a good example on where the cover art may be bad, but the music is great. But they're also like a post rock group and a shoegaze group and also an indie rock group too. But this is also a concept album about like what's the word, like the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but he's the place he comes back in is Texas. It's a concept album on that. And this is the first record. It's blue. And there it looks like we got a AK-47 shotgun and a rifle, it looks like. And I know that the cover artwork inside is not that great either. It kind of looks like almost like someone, like a little kid did this in Photoshop, but and honestly, I kind of like that for some reason. Like, it's not good artwork, but it's still fitting, and I still kind of like it though. It actually is pretty well packaged, and I'm kind of happy for that. This is their only album too, by the way. But yeah, this album's great. I kind of wish other Christian rock groups sounded like this, and if that was the case, I would have listened to more Christian rock, I guess. But anyways, this one is Exodus by Bob Marley and the Wailers, and this is their most well-known studio album. I think a lot of people would probably recognize the Greatest Hits album, Legend, which almost everyone has, but it's not that. So, but anyways, this album's great though. This one actually kind of has I think Bob Marley was kind of known for, even though this is his most well-known studio album, he was kind of well-known for his lyrics about drug use and the Rastafarian religion. Well, with this, he kind of he started to get faith, and this, so there's a lot of lyrics about Christianity and religion on this. When Bob Marley started to become religious, he kind of was off of this. But yeah, this is my favorite of theirs, and it's also their most well-known studio album though. So, but anyways, but yeah, that album's great. It's 3 Little Birds on it. And One Love, People Get Ready. They did a really great job on that, because it's kind of a bit of everything lyrically on it. This one is hold on, The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. This is their kind of considered to be their masterpiece, although I prefer this one over it, but this one's really great too. And they're a indie folk group from Washington, and they reissued all their albums after in 2020 was when they did their first studio album in almost 20 years. And there's this with this. It's mostly an indie folk album, but there's also some elements of some noise rock, a bit of some shoegaze. There's even some little hints of black metal on here too. Well, about the harsh vocals though, but the intensity and the loudness on some tracks. And it's also a concept album too. And so is that one. That one's a bit easier to follow, even though this one is a sequel to this, kind of. And I'd say that, so this one's also pretty, yeah, as I said, pretty genre diverse as well. It's kind of, there's a little hints of a lot of different types of styles off of this. It's really, really pretty. Actually, it's also a landmark in lo-fi, by the way. So lo-fi music, which is music that's low fidelity, isn't recorded in a professional studio, but the way they use that lo-fi sound is very creative on here. I've never really seen a group do something like that before. This one is Mount Erie by the Microphones. This one's pretty much a sequel to the Glow Up Part 2. And so it kind of takes place right after the concept of, like right where the Glow Up Part 2 ended, this one kind of comes in. But this one is a lot darker, and it's a lot more experimental. Not as genre diverse, but it's also very cryptic, heavy, and, well, maybe not heavy, but very dark in sound, in atmosphere. And also very, very tribal and experimental. And there's only 5 songs off of this too. It's also shorter, but... And this is kind of cool. This has got to be one of the coolest looking little artwork things I've ever seen. So this basically just has pictures depicting the entire concept of the record. Like all that happens to the protagonist as it goes on. I actually prefer this over the Glow Part 2. I know that may be an unpopular opinion, but I think this is the Microphone's best in my eyes. And actually, I think Phil Wellbrook even said this is one of his favorite projects that he's done too. And also, he also ended up doing another musical project under the name Mount Erie, which is the name of this album, obviously. But yeah, this album's great. It's one of my favorite albums of all time too. Definitely in my top 20 favorites, like, ever. There is a bit, and it's not as genre diverse as the Glow Part 2, but there's still definitely some diversity here. There's a bit of industrial, a bit of folk. There's even little elements of hip hop on one of the tracks. And it's definitely some ambience influence on this too. And but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all it is for this video today. Hope you guys have a good day during these awful things that are going on right now. I hope it helps to brighten your day a little bit, and you guys have a good day. Bye.